Library of Heaven's Path. Chapter 35. What is happening? Nonsense. Seeing the crowd breaking out into a commotion, cold sweat drips down from Manager Wu's forehead. He grits his teeth and bellows. He must not admit to it now. The moment he does, Haotian Pavilion's reputation will be ruined, and his future will be gone with it as well. If only he knew that this teacher is a gourmet, he would have never agreed to Shang Bin's request even if he was beaten to death. You are claiming that what I said was nonsense. Zhang Xuan glances at him. Indeed. You said that these dishes are imitations, but you don't have evidence to back up your claim. Without evidence, your words are nonsense. Do you think that I wouldn't dare to have you arrested for the crime of slander? Manager Wu says ferociously. Evidence. You want evidence. Fine. Seeing how this fellow is adamant to push on, Zhang Xuan shakes his head. Initially, he didn't want to pursue the matter any further. After all, Shen Bairu is the one treating, so it doesn't matter to him how much the dishes cost. However, who knew that this fellow would stubbornly claim that he was slandering them? Since that is the case, Zhang Xuan is resolute to prevent him from getting away scot-free. I have already provided the evidence of the few dishes before. Everyone can inspect their food carefully based on the unique traits that I have just brought up. Of course, it's okay if he is reluctant to acknowledge it. After all, even if you all know all these, some gourmets will still find it difficult to distinguish between them, needless to say, the rest of you. However, Zhang Xuan surveys the surroundings before casually lifting up the most expensive bottle of wine on the table up and declares, everyone would be able to easily discern the authenticity of this bottle of wine. Discern its authenticity. Drunk Immortal is the specialty of Haotian Pavilion. This is a fact known by everyone. Many people specially made the trip here just for the wine. Are you trying to say that the wine is fake as well? A customer can't resist asking. Indeed, Drunk Immortal is the trademark of Haotian Pavilion, so surely it can't be faked. If this turns out to be an imitation as well, I doubt that there can be anything real in here. Another customer speaks up. The wine that was offered to Zhang Xuan's table previously is called Drunk Immortal and its sale is exclusive to Haotian Pavilion. The wine is rich, delicious and has an exquisite fragrance. This wine played a crucial role to the current reputation and scale of Haotian Pavilion. If even this wine turns out to be an imitation, that would be going way overboard. I've already said that it would be easy to discern it. As though he had expected the crowd to doubt his words, Zhang Xuan simply responds with a faint smile and raises the bottle. The words Drunk Immortal are written on the cover of the bottle. If this is truly the Drunk Immortal from 100 Well Brewery, it would indeed be worth 1,200 gold coins. But it is a pity that the bottle is filled with Green Crag Brew from Purple Bamboo Gazebo. These two wines are similar in terms of their scent and their texture. However, the former is brewed using the valuable and rare-rooted earth grass and green cicada heart leaf and it nourishes the body when drunk. On the other hand, if one drinks too much of the Green Crag Brew, the venom from the fallen floral grass would attack one's heart and lungs. Over time, the function of one's organs will deteriorate, causing one's cultivation to fall rapidly, thus ending their lives tragically. Using Green Crag Brew to imitate Fallen Immortal. I've heard of Green Crag Brew. If I remember correctly, its taste is similar with Fallen Immortal. I've always trusted in the quality of the goods of Haotian Pavilion. I would have never imagined that they would fool their customers like that. This is a fraud. I will be reporting this to the Academy so that an investigation will be conducted. The customers who were watching the commotion, upon hearing that they have been scammed, cry out indignantly. Just because you said that it is Green Crag Brew, doesn't mean that it would necessarily be it. Where's your evidence? Manager Wu squeezes out these words between his gritted teeth. Glancing at him, Zhang Xuan replies calmly, wine can be ignited with fire. I haven't touched much of the alcohol in it so you can ignite this one. The true Fallen Immortal should exude an alluring fragrance, similar to lilies and musk. On the other hand, for Green Crag Brew, a charred odor would be released. All those who have noses should be able to discern between the two easily. Manager Wu's body goes stiff. The other party's words are completely accurate. However, this method of distinguishing between the two isn't very well known. Only the makers of Green Crag Brew and their vendors are aware of it. Even Wu Cho himself only heard of it coincidentally. How could this fellow know of this method as well? Actually, the wine given to other customers are all true fallen immortal. After all, this is the trademark specialty of the tavern. After hearing Shang Bin's plan, he intentionally passed this fake wine over to the young man, thinking that he would be unable to discern between the two so that he would be able to make an earning out of this. In the end, not only is the other party aware of it, he is even able to state the method to distinguish between the two clearly. If Zhang Xuan were to prove himself right, it would be difficult to explain to everyone that what they're drinking is the authentic fallen immortal. Why? You don't dare to give it a try. Seeing the look of panic on the other person's face, Zhang Xuan smiles faintly. He casually turns the wine bottle over, allowing the wine to spill onto the floor. Then, he takes out an ignitable paper roll and snaps his fingers. Shong shong. When the wine on the floor comes into contact with the flames, it lights up and instantaneously, a stinging odor assaults the noses of the crowd, leaving them faint-headed. How pungent. This was what we were drinking. Haotian Pavilion really doesn't respect their customers. For it to be so pungent, it must be poisonous. Refund. Refund. I've been drinking your wine here for 3 years. Not only do I want you to return it all back to me, I want additional compensation as well. The entire tavern explodes into an uproar. Everyone rushes forward. What? What is happening? Chao Shang and Shang Bin feels like they are going mad by the sudden turn of events. They had specially set up this ploy to humiliate Zhang Xuan. In the end, not only was he not humiliated, he even managed to stand out instead. Instead, they were shamed like clowns. What is happening? What is happening your head? By the side, Manager Wu had just barely kept his emotions in check, but upon hearing those words, he loses control and kicks them both. Peng. Peng. He is a fighter 6 Dan Pishui realm expert. Before the two of them could even react, the sight before them goes dark and they crash onto the ground. A giant footprint is left on each of their faces. It is no wonder that Manager Wu would go berserk. If it weren't for these two fellows, such an incident would not have occurred. He can already foresee that not only will his career come to an end, he would also have to face the rage of Elder Hong Hao. After this incident, Hongtian Pavilion's reputation would definitely go into the gutters and their business would no longer be as prosperous as before. The cause of this entire incident is him accepting the request of these two fellows to teach the lad, who is last in the teacher qualification examination, a lesson. How can it be possible for this lad to be the last? Even the first in the examinations can't possibly be so incredible. If only he knew in advance that this master had such powerful eyes of discernment. Not only would he have not caused Zhang Xuan any trouble, he would have been praying for him to not cause him any. Damn it. Looks like there isn't anyone free to collect money from us right now, let's go. Seeing how the situation has descended into chaos, Zhang Xuan signals to Shen Bairu, who is still in a state of daze, and walks out of the tavern. Now that the problem has been settled, staying here would just result in more troubles. Thus, it would wiser for them to simply leave. Shen Bairu hurriedly catches up to him. Seeing the young man in front her eyes are filled with complex emotions. All along, she thought that he is a trash, an ignorant fellow who is the shame of the teaching community. After half a day of interaction, she realized that, if he is a trash, then what is she? Doesn't it mean that she is nothing at all? Gritting her teeth, she walks up. With disbelief still reflecting within her beautiful pitch-black eyes, she asks, "You seem to be quite knowledgeable about food. Could it be that you're a gourmet? If you find any errors, please let us know in the comments below so we can fix it as soon as possible. Also, like and subscribe to our channel to get notified of the latest chapter release."